This file has a roof that's created by Extrusion. We can select the roof and then pick Edit Profile and see that this is the original geometry that the roof is based on for its extrusion. We can modify this geometry and see the roof update automatically, or what we'll do is cancel out of this and delete this roof. We'll get an error, but we'll just go ahead and pick Delete Elements. It deletes or unattaches this wall from the original roof. Now in the south elevation, we can go to Roof and Roof by Extrusion. It's asking you here to pick a plane, a work plane that you can use to draw that original geometry for the extrusion. So I'll pick OK, and I'll pick this far right side as my work plane. East elevation, I'll go ahead and pick Open View. And at level 2, go ahead and pick OK. Now I'm drawing geometry that will represent the shape of the roof. If I start with something simple, like an arc, I can draw this arc and then pick Finish, Edit Mode, and in the 3D view, see that the new roof has been created from that extrusion. You can adjust here the width of this roof by using these little arrow grips. Go ahead and select this curtain wall and change it into a different wall type, like the stacked wall at the bottom of the type selector. And then select the wall and pick Attach, and then select the roof. The wall attaches to the roof here. On the other side, if we select this wall and pick Attach and select the roof, we're going to pick Delete Elements, and that extra mullion that was there at the top is deleted and the wall is extended. Now let's select our roof and edit the profile. We can adjust here the shape by using different tools. To create a different curve, and then Finish, Edit Mode. The same thing about the mullion being updated. Go ahead and pick Delete Elements to delete the old mullions. And notice that because there's a relationship between the wall and the roof, both sides are updated. Now let's take a look at several other options for placing and modifying roofs. We'll go to the ground floor plan and create walls using a basic generic wall up to the level 2 height. Using the rectangle, we can create a simple shape for our walls, and then we'll change to the level 2 view so that we can place our roof in the Home tab by footprint. We'll take the check mark out of Define Slope so that we can have a flat roof, and we'll create an overhang that's 1 foot. Resting your pointer over one wall, you can use the Tab key to select the chain of walls and then left click. If we had the check mark in Define Slopes, there would be small triangles here representing the slope. But we're going to split this line and create our own slope arrow. We'll go in the Modify panel, we'll go to Split Element, and then split this side of the roof and do the same down below. Then pick Slope Arrow, pick a start point for the slope and an end point. On both sides, we'll pick Slope Arrow, and now we're creating the slope. When we pick Finish Edit Mode, you'll see in the 3D view that our new roof has been created with the split arrows. We can rest our pointer on this wall, use our tab key to select all the walls, and left click and pick Attach, and then select the roof. The walls will be attached to the roof. Going back to the level 2 plan, the default view range has a cutoff level and the top level. In the properties at the bottom right, we can pick the edit button next to view range. And notice that for this level, the cutoff plane is 4 feet and the top range is 7'6". Even if we made the cutoff plane 7'6", we'd still be short if we wanted to show our entire roof. So we'll change this top offset to 15 feet and the cut plane higher 15 feet and pick Apply. Now we want to be able to see the walls underneath. We can change our bottom to 10 feet and pick Apply. And now we can see our walls because the bottom view range is lower, the top view range is higher, and our cut plane gives us our entire roof. And this applies to this view, so you could in a project duplicate views to create your roof plan. Okay. And now if we go to roof and down to soffit, we're creating the shape that represents our soffit. If I pick the outside lines, I'll have one line to work with. I can either use a rectangle or continue with the line tool to create these boxes which will represent the soffit. Finish Edit Mode, and let's go to the 3D view and take a look at the soffit. You'll see the soffit that's created. While we're here, we can go to Roof and Fascia and select here the top edge of this roof, and you can see the fascia board is added. The same thing applies if we go to Roof and pick Gutter and select that edge. You'll see the gutter. You've probably noticed by now that we have several profiles that we can change. If I select the gutter and I pick Edit Type, you'll see that the profile that's used right here is 5" by 5". But there are several others, and we can create our own profile for this gutter. And for the fascia board, if I select the fascia board and pick Edit Type, this is the size, the 1x12, but there are others that are preloaded, but you can create your own profile for that fascia board. We'll go back to the ground floor level, and in the ground floor we'll create walls up to level 1 height using the rectangle tool to draw these 4 walls. Then we'll go to the level 1 view. Notice in the level 1 view that plan isn't showing. If you look in the properties, this file has the underlay as none. If I change that to ground and pick Apply, you'll see the ground view below this level 1 view. Now I can pick Roof by Footprint and change the overhang to 0 and leave the Define Slopes unchecked. Then change the base offset from level to a negative 1 foot 6 inches to bring that 1 foot thick roof down below our top of our wall or our parapet. We can then rest our pointer on the wall, tab, pick tab, and then click on the inside wall to place our flat roof. Pick Finish Edit Mode. We'll go to the 3D view and take a look. There's our flat roof. Let's go back to level 1 and select our roof. By using the tab key, we can tab over to roofs and then click so that we have our roof selected. We're going to use shape editing tools to split our roof or floor to subregions that can slope independently. We'll start by picking Add Split Line and draw a split line here in the middle. Let's go to the 3D view. Select your roof and then pick Modify Sub-Elements. We can select our line and change the height of that entire line to -3 inches. You can select these points and change independently the height of these points. So maybe this one needs to go down even more. I can type in -5 inches, and now the roof is starting to develop its sub-elements. You can even add a point if you need to restructure the slope of your roof or floor, or if you have a drain like in a shower floor and you just need one point to suppress the floor. We'll create one last building on the ground floor level to level 1 using rectangle so that we can take a look at creating a sloped glazing and a dormer. The first thing we'll do is go to level 1 and place a roof by footprint. We'll change the overhang to 1 foot, and we want to put the check mark back inside to find slope. Also, we want to be careful not to use this -1 foot 6 offset that we used in the last roof. We'll change the base offset from level back to 0 and pick Apply, and then we're ready to rest our pointer on the wall until you see the dashed line that represents the overhang. Tab and click to place your roof, and then pick Finish Edit Mode. As we said before, we have a view range that we can change. Here under View Range, we're going to pick Edit and change the top to 15 feet and the cutoff plane to 15 feet. The cutoff plane is only a view of this level in order to see the objects. We're going to take a look at cutoff level, which is different from the cut plane. I'll go ahead and pick OK. And we said also if we didn't want to see these walls, we could change the underlay back to none to get a clean view of the roof. Now we'll go to the south view, and here in the south view we create another level that will represent our cutoff level. So in the Home tab, we'll pick Level, and here establish another level. We'll call this one Level 3. we'll go to the 3D view, select your roof, and then in the properties you'll see cutoff level, which is different from the cut plane, which we said would change the view height and cut off the view. This is going to cut off that level, and we'll pick level 3 and pick apply. So the roof is cut at this point. We can now go back to level 3 and draw a roof. We can use roof by footprint, making sure we change the overhang to 0, and instead of using pick walls, we'll use pick lines. We'll pick these 4 lines to draw our roof that starts at level 3. We'll pick finish edit mode. If we go back to the 3D view, you'll see that added top part here as an extension of the roof. Select that portion of the roof and change the roof type to sloped glazing. Notice that it drops down because of the width of the glazing. We'll change the base offset from level to 1'4" pick apply, and you'll see that it comes back up to the top of the roof edge to meet with the other roof. You can then, in the Home tab, pick Curtain Grid and start to place your curtain grid. It's very light in color. Here, if I change my visual display, you'll be able to see the curtain grid that you're placing. Then you can go back to the Home tab and pick Mullion and change the type to something a little bit smaller, like 1 inch square, and select here these grid lines to change into mullion. You can change back to shading to see the glass at the top and finish the rest of the glazing.